morning, beloveds. It is Tuesday. It is September 15th. Yesterday was the first day of the ministers' gathering, and they kicked it off in grand style. The guest speaker that they had was really amazing. So I look forward to today. And they're going to end it with on Wednesday with Ricky Byers, so that will be fantastic. But, as is my responsibility, I'm also going to take advantage of this time off and go to the chiropractor tomorrow. So it'll be good. And maybe we're also contemplating a trip to the Mercer Arboretum. Plan to be there as soon as it opens because it'll be relatively cool in the morning. And yeah. So I may do this live stream from the Mercer Arboretum. We're going to see about that. Pack the book and the, obviously the phone, and see if we can find a quiet place to do that. Otherwise, if I'm late tomorrow, you'll know why. That's why. I'm going to go play tomorrow morning before the first part of the ministers' gathering. So, all right, it is September 15th. It is, as I said, Tuesday. And our title is Daily I Contemplate My Importance in a Divine Plan. And our Bible quote is, "For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's field, ye are God's building." And that is from 1 Corinthians 3:9. So, let's see what Ernest has to say today. My thought is a gateway to illumination. I know that the Spirit within me is my strength and power. I approach life with a sense of security and well-being. I know that I have a secret source in God. I know that my thought is a gateway to illumination. It is the secret place of the Most High within me, from which comes inspiration, guidance, and wisdom. Therefore, I accept the fullness of this moment. I accept life as a glorious experience, a spiritual adventure. I believe in myself because I first believe in God. I believe in my destiny because I believe that the law of good is operating through me. I have a calm confidence in the future, a keen, enthusiastic expectation of good things to come. I open my whole consciousness to the realization that all the power and presence there is surrounds me in an internal embrace, that the Spirit forever imparts its own life to me, forever flows through me into happiness, success, and well-being. Knowing that I cannot live unto myself alone, but that I am part of all life, I gladly and enthusiastically unify with people, conditions, and events, flowing into them with the certain knowledge that I belong to the universe in which I live, and that this universe belongs to me, that I am a part of it, necessary to it, one with it. Okay. So let's start off just by talking about the divine plan, because depending on how you were raised, the divine plan can be a terrifying idea, which is frequently why in Science of Mind we don't use the divine plan. We tend to use the divine pattern. When he talks about the divine plan, he is not talking about that there is a book of your life and that your life is going to go this way, period, no matter what. It's not a roadmap. It's not a marked out trail. It is not it's not that you don't have any choice. The whole point of Science of Mind is to realize that you have choice. You have choices. Sometimes I admit that the only choice that we have is how we feel about a situation. And that is what it is. Other times we have choices. do I go this way? Do I go that way? Do I do this? But we are always at choice. So when we say the word divine plan, the divine plan is for life. Period. That is it. It is not, you will go this way, not that way. There's no, and there's no punishment if you get off track, because there's no track. Okay? So don't let any baggage around the idea of the divine plan throw you. That's not the way he is using the divine plan. The divine plan is simply life. Life is happening. Yes, there is a pattern, but the good thing about patterns is they can always be altered. All right? So let's move on from there. My thought is a gateway to illumination. Yes, my thought, your thought, the gateway to illumination. What you are thinking will either lead you into illumination or it can lead you further into darkness. So then go back and question what you're feeding those thoughts. And by that I mean, like, what books are you reading? What movies are you consuming? What speakers are you listening to? And that will, what is helping you to generate your thought. I know that the spirit within me is my strength and power. I know that the spirit within me, it's spirit with a capital S, is my strength and power. The strength and power that I have is not mine. I do not have to generate it. I do not have to create it. All I have to do is be willing to open to the flow as much or as little as I want and use that. I do not have to create the strength. I do not have to create the power. I merely have to use that which is given to me. And it is given freely. It is up to me as to how much of it I am willing to accept. I approach life with a sense of security and well-being. Power statement. Okay? That is a power statement. That is, I wake up in the morning and I'm not feeling So I say to myself, and I say to the spirit, I say to God, I say to the universe, I approach life with a sense of security and well-being. Think of it like a mantra. I know that I have a secret source in God. Okay? That's where my strength is coming from. That is where my power is coming from. That is where my sense of security and well-being is coming from. I know that I have a secret source in God. It's kind of an open secret. Everybody has the same source. But how many of us have acknowledged that this is our source? How many of us are still trying to do it on our own? I know that my thought is a gateway to illumination. So we've gone back. I know that my thought is a gateway to illumination. What are my thoughts? Am I guarding my thoughts? Am I curating my thoughts? Am I cultivating my thoughts? That it is the secret place of the Most High within me, from which comes inspiration, guidance, and wisdom. Therefore, I accept the fullness of this moment. I accept life as a glorious experience, a spiritual adventure. Okay, so the secret place within the Most High, from which comes inspiration and guidance and wisdom. Are we open to it? Are we willing? Are we willing? That's our biggest thing. Are we willing? We are at choice. How much of this are we going to let in? That's one of our choices. Therefore, I accept the fullness of this moment. And this moment is always. The moment, it's kind of the moment that never ends. And I think that's why he uses the word moment. Because moment means as long or as short as you need it to be. So I accept the fullness of this moment. I accept the fullness of this now. And now. And now. I accept life as a glorious experience, a spiritual adventure. And I love that he uses the word a spiritual adventure. Because what does adventure mean? Think of all of the things that adventure means to you. I grew up reading science fiction and fantasy. I grew up on the Chronicles of Narnia. I love the Lord of the Rings. I wasn't able to read the books growing up, but I grew up on the swords and the horses and the adventure. And in the adventure, you grow and you change, and you become more fully who you are. This is what a spiritual adventure is. It is about growing. It is about changing. It is about unlearning who society and culture and religion has told you are, and becoming who you are. Learning who you are at the core of your being, which is spirit. I believe in myself because I first believe in God. Oh, right? If I believe in God and I believe I'm made of God's stuff, how can I not believe in myself? You are made of God's stuff. If you believe in God, if you believe in spirit, then you can believe in yourself. I believe in my destiny because I believe the law of good is operating through me. That's the divine plan. The divine plan is the law of good operating through you. It's not a roadmap. It's not a set in stone path. It is the law of good operating through you, bringing into this world through you, through your experiences, through your actions, through your words, through your deeds, life, good. I have a calm confidence in the future, a keen, enthusiastic expectation of good things to come, because the law of good is operating through me. I'm acknowledging the law of good operating through me. I believe in myself because I believe in God or in spirit or whatever word you want to use. I believe in that. So therefore, I have confidence in the future because the law of good is acting through me. And if it's acting through me, then I know that it's acting through all people to the degree of which they are willing. So the more of us that are more willing to have the law of good act through us, the better the world is going to be. I open my whole consciousness to the realization that all the power and presence there is surrounds me in an eternal embrace. There's your warm fuzzy. There's your warm fuzzy. All of the power and presence surrounds me. And if it surrounds me, I know it surrounds everybody else too. We live and move and have our being in that presence. That power is what animates us. It's what flows through us. It's what we use. We don't have to create it. Power can neither be created, energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Power can neither be created or destroyed. So it's always there, always available, always flowing through us. That the Spirit forever imparts its own life to me. Forever flows through me into happiness. He doesn't say that for the Spirit flows through me into happiness. It doesn't flow into me through into anything else. It flows into happiness. That is the law of good. So it flows through me into happiness, success, and well-being. How willing are you to allow the law of good to flow through you, the Spirit to flow through you into? Because that's what the law of good is about. It's about happiness, success, well-being. Open your whole consciousness. Not a little bit of your consciousness, your whole consciousness. And granted, doing that all the time is hard. That's what meditation is for. That is what treatment is for. That is when you take that moment of time to go to that place where nothing has ever been wrong, where everything is divine. And you sit there and you fill up and you bring that back into the world and you do your work. And you do whatever it is. And then when you need a tune-up, or an attitude adjustment, or whatever it is you want to call it, you go back into prayer and meditation and spiritual practice. You don't have to do it all the time, but set aside time to open your whole consciousness. And then when you're in the regular stuff of the world, just leave it open so that it is constantly flowing into you. You dedicate this part of your consciousness all the time. And then you set aside time, spiritual practice time, to dedicate your whole consciousness to it. All right. Knowing that I cannot live unto myself alone, but that I am a part of life, I gladly and enthusiastically unify with people, conditions, and events, flowing into them with the certain knowledge that I belong to the universe in which I live, that this universe belongs to me, that I am a part of it, necessary to it, one with it. And there is your divine plan. I cannot live in myself alone, but I am a part of life. I like to call it a divine splinter or a divine spark or whatever you want to call it. The whole truly is greater than its parts, but it wouldn't be whole without all of its parts, which means you are necessary. You are necessary to the plan. You are necessary to life. You are necessary to God. Because God is having an experience through you that it couldn't have otherwise. Flowing into them with the certain knowledge that I belong to the universe. There's another powerful statement that on those dark days when we're not feeling it, that's the statement. Flowing into them with the certain knowledge that I belong to the universe in which I live, that this universe belongs to me. I have every right to be here. You have every right to be here. You have every right to happiness, well-being, success, security, peace, joy, all of that. Because you belong to the universe. And the universe belongs to you. So what is our mission today? I'm not sure. I've said a lot of stuff today. Wow. Okay. I'm going to choose this as our mission today. Because the whole thing's one big long mission. Our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to believe in ourselves because we believe in God. Because we believe that the law of good is operating through us. Right there. I believe that the law of good is operating through me. I know that the law of good is operating through me. I know that the law of good is operating through you. So I believe in myself and I believe in you because I believe in God. And that is our mission today. So, do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself. Do something that engages your mind and your body. We are moving into the cooler weather in the mornings, so I definitely encourage you to open your windows, get some fresh air, and allow that fresh air to bring you that fresh perspective. And with that fresh perspective, open the windows of your soul and allow the breath of heaven to remind you you live in heaven now. Remind you that you are part of the divine plan because you are part of life, because the law of good operates through you. So take some time to open your whole consciousness to that. Take some time for your spiritual practice. If you haven't figured out, this is one of my spiritual practices, doing this, because I have to think about the words that I'm saying. and then allow inspiration to come through. All right. So, Reverend David will be back with you around 5 today. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And like I said, if I can do it from the Arboretum, I'll do it from the Arboretum. And if I'm late, then let me apologize ahead of time. And I will be on with you when I get here. So, have a wonderful day. And remember that you are a child of Spirit in whom Spirit is well pleased. You are a child of Spirit in whom Spirit flows to the degree that you are willing to allow it. You are a divine spark. Have a wonderful day, beloveds.